Picture this, instead of watching snowfall, you're watching boats glide by in your own backyard. Now that's life in Cape Coral's Gulf Access Canals, and right now the tides in our real estate market are starting to shift. For the first time in a long time, we're seeing serious momentum. In October 2025, the number of sold Gulf Access homes nearly doubled compared to last year. Months of inventory has dropped considerably year over year, and while prices are still relatively low, the big question is how much longer? Right now, buyers still have leverage, but that leverage is starting to slip. And as we head into the winter and snowbird season, the next few months are going to be key. Now, if inventory doesn't spike like it did last year, this could mark the beginning of a real shift and a potential turning point in the Cape Coral real estate market. Now, in this video, I'll break down exactly what's happening, what it means for buyers and sellers, and where the Cape Coral Gulf Access market may be heading next. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral Waterfront Realtor, and if you have any questions about buying, selling, relocating, or retiring here in Cape Coral, I'd love to chat. Click the link in the description to schedule your complimentary Zoom strategy call with me. And of course, you're always welcome to call, text, or email. All right, let's dive into the November 2025 Gulf Access Canal market update for Cape Coral, Florida. Hey guys, welcome to the Cape Coral Gulf Access Home Market Update for November 2025. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral Waterfront Realtor. We've got a lot of great information to cover right now. Now, if you're a seller and you're thinking about selling your home in the market right now, is now the time to sell, or should you be cautious? If you're thinking about buying, should you really start focusing on getting ready to buy, maybe getting the mortgage lined up, all things set up? We've got a lot of numbers to dive into, so we're going to look at how the market is actually shifting right now, how we've been watching the months of inventory stay pretty stagnant for the last several months, which means the market is now trending in the direction where it might start coming back, where buyers lose that leverage and sellers start to collect the leverage once again. We're going to dive in and take a look at the numbers and find out exactly what that means. So let's jump forward. First up, we have market indicators. This tells us exactly what's going on in the market, the numbers that we need to know. So we pull these directly from the MLS. These are the actual factual numbers from the multiple listing service here in Cape Coral. So first up is inventory. This tells us how many homes are currently available on the market for sale right now. This tells us all about supply. A lot of supply means lower prices. Less supply means higher prices. Next up, we have median price point. This is what homes are actually selling for. 50% of the homes sold above this amount, 50% of the homes sold below this amount. Days on the market. How many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? And then closed sales. These are the actual closed sales happening. So we're going to take a look at the complete list of closed sales for the month of October 2025. Now, this is the Cape Coral market update for Gulf Access Canal homes, single family homes here in the city of Cape Coral. We put these numbers out every single month so you can know exactly what's happening and stay on top of the local market. So first up, we have active inventory. How many homes are currently available in the city of Cape Coral? October 2025, we had 609 single-family Gulf Access homes here available. July 2025, we had 674 homes available. And then 1 year ago, October 2024, 617 homes available. So as you can see, year over year for Gulf Access homes, we are pretty close to about the same. Now, what I want to point out to you, though, is look what happened last year. Last year in October, we had 617, and then as we got closer to snowbird season, when the majority of the buyers show up, we had a lot of homes hit the market and it started jumping up, jumping up, and jumping up. And we peaked overall in the market, not just Gulf Access homes, but overall single-family homes in the Cape Coral market was over 3,500 homes in February and March, which is huge. And then we just dropped off. And now currently in the overall market, we're sitting right around 2,500 homes. So we dropped off 1,000 homes since last spring. So as we start to ramp back up again, are we going to ramp up like we did last year? I don't believe so. We're certainly going to go up and these numbers will increase, but are we going to be as high as we were last year? I don't believe so. I think we're going to see that number much lower. I believe people were testing the market last year. A lot of people realized that they're not going to get the money that they wanted for their homes, so they then pulled them off the market. The folks that were actually selling were people that were motivated for one reason or another, and they did sell their homes back in the spring and summer. So let's jump forward. Active inventory has been decreasing since March. We did see it start to bump up just a bit, and that's in anticipation for season. So I fully anticipated to jump up over the next few months, new opportunities coming to the market. So if you are looking to buy, pay attention to this new inventory coming to the market every single day here in Cape Coral. Now, median price point. Median price point for October 2025, $632,500. Median price point July just 3 months ago, 658,000, and then October 2024, 683,000. So as you can see, year over year, we definitely had a decrease of close to $50,000. And we started off the year really slow. We jumped up, and then prices have been consistently dropping down throughout the year. Now, one of the things that we're going to pay attention to is this inventory. As inventory continues to decrease, we may start to see these prices jump. They haven't jumped yet, but what I'm going to show you in just a few minutes is the months of inventory and how that's been playing out over the last 5 or 6 months, because that's a real indicator of what's going on here. If we have a lot of buyers still coming into the market and that inventory starts to slow down where we have less inventory and more buyers, then that's what's going to indicate prices are going to head back up the other direction. Have we bottomed out yet? I think we're getting very close. So if you are a buyer and you're watching the market and you've been telling me for the last 3 years, Barry, I want to make sure I hit the bottom, I think you need to seriously pay attention right now. What's really going to tell us this is in the next few months, once we get into the snowbird season, how much inventory hits the market and how many closed sales we're going to be seeing. I've got a surprise for you in just a moment. For closed sales for October was huge compared to where we were last year and the last few months. So let's take a look at that in just a moment. But the other thing I want to point out on here is prices have been down. Are they going to continue trending down? I don't believe so. I believe we're going to stay right there and we'll start to see that trend back up. One of the things that I did notice is even though prices were down, the price per square foot over the last few months has actually been higher than the last few months. So the month in October for price per square foot was higher. And that tells me that the homes that are selling are maybe older homes, smaller homes. The cheaper homes or lower priced homes are the ones that are actually selling right now. But they are commanding a higher price per square foot than they were just a few months ago. So if you have $1 million home, they are sitting on the market a little bit longer right now, a little bit harder to sell, as what I believe, and once we get into the closed sales, we're going to get into that in just a moment. What's happening is a lot of investors realize that the market's starting to get close to the bottom and they're coming in and starting to buy up the inventory. Days on the market. So October 2025, 76 days on the market. July 2025, 111 days on the market, median before a home went under contract. Last year, October 2024, 51 days on the market. Now this number is kind of up and down and all over the place. However, if a home is strategically priced, it's marketed correctly, and it's got the right, most amount of people are seeing that home, then those homes are going to sell rather quickly. They're not sitting in the market for 76 days. The homes that are sitting in the market for 76 days, 111 days, these are the homes that people put on the market. They're overpriced because either the seller has expectations from maybe a few years ago in 2022 where he wants that higher price point, or maybe they're just not educated. A lot of real estate agents aren't really educating their clients right now. They're not going over the exact numbers of what they can sell that for. So they're starting really high and they're not being able to sell that house. So it just sits on the market for several months. That has been happening as well. And I've actually been getting some phone calls from some of those clients talking to me and wanting me to come talk to them about how they can position their houses a little bit better to sell. And we talk about price points and go over the exact numbers that they should be able to sell that house for. So as we see days in the market coming down, as we get into season in the next few months, I think we're going to see that number actually start to increase because a lot of inventory is going to come to the market. A lot of that inventory is not going to be priced right, and a lot of that inventory is not going to be attractive to the buyers that are here, and will sit on the market a little bit longer. But those attractive homes that are attractively priced are selling fairly quickly. Closed sales. Now this is what I really want to hit on because this surprised me. I knew things were changing a little bit, but I want to show you. So the month of October 2025, we had 82 Gulf Access Canal homes sell in the city of Cape Coral. 82 buyers. That's incredible. July 2025, we had 71. That was the middle of summer when that number is typically higher than October. October is one of our slowest months. These are homes that went under contract at the end of August, in the middle of September. We had 82 closings in October 2025. Look where we were at 1 year ago, October 2024. 45 homes sold. We almost doubled our sales. That tells me buyers are here, they're coming into the market. And typically it's the investors. When you start seeing this type of number, investors are coming in, second homeowners, people that are looking for the good deal. They believe that the market is starting to turn the other direction. So they want to make sure that they take advantage of the bottom. Now, with that being said, did you need to rush out right now and buy a house? Absolutely not. But what you do need to do if you're in the market for buying, or you've been thinking about buying, or you've been waiting to buy, you need to really pay attention with what's happening, because once that starts to shift, the prices are going to start jumping the other direction, and that's where you're going to start paying more money than you have to. We still have time. I think that the season over the next February, March, April, that's going to be a huge indicator of the direction that we're heading. I do believe that we will see prices jump just a bit once we get into that season because buyers are here, sellers know that, and buyers are competing for the best options. But let's go back here. So I love this chart. Right here, we see over 75. We had 82 homes closed. Look where we were. That's almost our fourth or fifth. We were pretty close to where we were at back in June, but we had more sales in March, April, May, which is pretty typical. But to have that many in October compared to where we were last year, something's happening. So pay attention. Months of inventory. So this is another indicator that I really like to watch and see. This is how many homes are currently available compared to how many buyers are here. So if not another new home came to the market and the amount of buyers that we had, so 82 buyers last month, this would take us this many months to completely sell out our inventory that's available right now. October 2025, 7.4 months of inventory available. July 2025, 9.5 months of inventory available. October 2024, 13.7 months of inventory available. Our inventory is shrinking. So those folks that tell you that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of homes available here in the city of Cape Coral, it's just not true. A neutral market is between 4 and 6 months. There's no leverage for the buyer, no leverage for the seller. Now, if it's below 4 months, that's leverage for the seller. That's a seller's market. If it's above 6 months, that's leverage for the buyer. That means it's a buyer's market. Now, for the overall single-family home market here in the city of Cape Coral for October, I put that one out on my YouTube channel just a few days ago. That showed me that our months of inventory was I think it was 5.8 or 5.9, but it was under 6 months of inventory, meaning it's a neutral market. Now, buyers still have leverage, don't get me wrong, but it's going the other direction. And how I can tell you that with confidence is if we look at the chart here, since March, we've had stability. It hasn't been up and down, up and down, up and down. It's been very stable of that months of inventory. So that means the amount of buyers here, the amount of inventory that's been available has been pretty stable. This yellow line is our neutral market and we're starting to drop. Now, as we go into the next few months, we may see this month of inventory start to increase just a little bit because typically November, December are slower months here. But that's also the time that sellers put their homes on the market and that inventory starts to increase. So that would mean months of inventory will increase. Now, if you're a buyer, this is a great time to buy because there's tons of new inventory coming to the market. You don't have as much competition here in the other buyers, which is huge. And so sellers, they start to get a little anxious because they put their home on the market. They don't know what's going on. Why isn't it selling? And you can come in and actually snag some pretty good deals in November, December. Now, once we get into February, March, April, that's when the most amount of buyers are going to be here. So that's the biggest advantage for sellers to get the most amount of money because there's competition. But we're going to look at that in just a moment. So what you want to know is months of inventory is decreasing. Other key numbers to be aware of. So sold price per square foot, like I told you, the sold price per square foot actually increased, was higher than it has been for the last 3 or 4 months, $366 a square foot. Even though the overall purchase price was lower, the price per square foot was higher. Now, list price received, 94.6%. This is the amount of money that sellers are discounting their latest list price to get it under contract. So if a house was $100,000, they're willing to take $94,600 for that home. So they're discounting it just over 5%. Now, with some of my buyers, we've been getting some better deals than that. We find the right sellers that are motivated. We're able to help my buyers get better opportunities for that. And sometimes buyers just want help towards closing costs, maybe want help towards buying down those rates. And those sellers are willing to do that, especially if they're motivated. So we find out what their motivation is and then we go forward with that. Now, if you're a seller, understand that buyers are still expecting some sort of discount off that. But that doesn't mean raise your price. It means just price your home aligned with the market so that it does sell quickly and effortlessly without giving extra money off at the end. New listings. 143 new listings came to the market for Gulf Access homes in the city of Cape Coral for the month of October. This number did jump just a little bit over where we were at in September, and that's anticipation of season, which as we see next month's report, November's, we'll see that number jump again once we get into December. Months of inventory, 7.4 months of inventory. How many months available on the market before we'd be completely out of homes if not another new listing came to the market based on the current amount of buyers in the market? All right, let's jump into the comparisons. Love to compare the areas. Now, as you know, Gulf Access Canal homes are in the southeast, southwest, and northwest parts of Cape Coral. We don't have any Gulf Access Canal homes in the northeast part of Cape Coral, but let's jump into this and find out where we're at. Southeast has homes that are typically a little bit on the older side. Now there are some newer homes there, but typically on the newer side or on the older side, smaller square footage, things like that. So the median price point was $605,000. 34 homes sold in Southeast Cape Coral. Gulf Access homes available currently, 246 homes available, and months of inventory is 7.2 months of inventory. One of the things I wanted to point out on this, 605,000, this number is actually starting to increase from where it was just a couple months ago. So we're going to keep an eye on that. A lot of times investors see great opportunities here and they're willing to come in and get those great deals and then remodel the homes and sell them. Several of the homes in this area as well are not in flood zones. So if you're the type of person that says, Barry, I absolutely want to minimize my risk as much as possible, the southeast part of Cape Coral has some great options there in flood zones X or X500, even though you're right on the Gulf Access Canal. Now, next up is Southwest Cape Coral. This area is one of the most desirable areas. Most of the homes here were built in the late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of beautiful homes in these areas. $677,500 for a median price here in the southwest part of Cape Coral. That number has actually decreased. So we're going to watch that and see where that's going to head. 38 homes sold in Southwest Cape Coral in the month of October. Homes available, 261 homes are currently available. Months of inventory, 6.9 months of inventory. So if you've been watching my reports, you know that we've just had tons of inventory, and now it's starting to slip away based on the amount of buyers that are here. Median price point for Northwest Cape Coral. Northwest Cape Coral has a lot of opportunity, a lot of brand new homes up there, beautiful homes right on the Gulf Access Canals. Median price $655,000. That's one of the lowest prices we've seen for a median price in that area. That tells me that we're seeing a lot of the older Gulf Access Canal homes sell in that area. Not a lot of them, but there are definitely homes that were built back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and they would be getting that price point there, the 655. Those brand new luxury homes on the Gulf Access Canals, many of them are going for over $1 million. So that tells me we didn't sell a lot of those right now. That market's not hot, those higher end prices homes, but the lower end price, the older homes are the ones that are selling. Homes sold, we sold 10 homes. Homes available, 114 homes available. Months of inventory, 11.4 months of inventory for Northwest Cape Coral. Next up is key numbers. This tells us exactly what's going on in the economy. We want to take a look at inflation. That's been kind of the buzzword for the last several years. Peaked at 9.1% back in June 2022. We're now at 3%. Now we have been rising over the last few months, so we're going to focus on how that's going to play out and keep an eye on it. Interest rates, November 2023 was our peak. That was 2 years ago. We hit 8% for interest rates. We're now sitting at 6.25%. Our target is to be under 6.5% for periods of time. We've been under that for the last couple of months. I think that's why we saw those buyers come into the market, the 82 buyers for Gulf Access homes here in the month of October. If we fall below 6% for a couple of months, or even 1 month for that matter, if we get down to the fives, that's where it's going to unleash, and you really need to be paying attention. You're going to miss the opportunity. Unemployment. Now, this one, the government was shut down for the last month, and we don't have the accurate number here, but where we were at in September was 4.3% and staying steady. We did see that increase just a bit. It has been the high threes, low fours for the last couple of years. So unemployment has been fairly healthy with the amount of people collecting unemployment, but we are starting to see it bump just a bit, but we'll keep an eye on that as well. Now, if this number gets higher, that typically means interest rates are going to get lower, which would signify prices potentially going up for our type of market where we have a lot of second homeowners and people relocating to the area. Next up, supply. Current inventory in the city of Cape Coral, 2,514 single-family homes available on the market here in the city of Cape Coral. I see people throw things around like Cape Coral has over 4,000 homes available on the market right now, and you see the headlines, and it's all a bunch of crap because currently, right now on the MLS, there's just over 2,500 homes available, single-family homes on the market here in the city of Cape Coral. Year over year decrease. We've been decreasing for the last few months. This is what's been catching my eye as well. We've been decreasing there for the last couple of years, probably last 3 years. This number has been increasing year over year, increasing, but we've been decreasing. 6.68% decrease from where we were 1 year ago in the overall single family market here in Cape Coral. Next up, demand. Population, we're currently estimated just over 240,000 people here in the city of Cape Coral. Next 5 years, we're expected to be at 260,000 people, and by 2050, 320,000 people. We're often ranked as one of the fastest growing cities in Cape Coral. Recently, there was a headline that went out that said Cape Coral's one of the #1 retirement destinations in the country just because of its affordability, what you can actually have here. You can park your boat right in your backyard, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, navigate out to open waters, and just have a little piece of paradise here in Southwest Florida. You don't have to scrape any windshields. You don't have to shovel any snow. It's a beautiful way to live your winters. I can certainly attest to that. Now, I've been down here for about 13 years now. I came down in 2012. And I never looked back. I love living here. I came down from Denver, Colorado, grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Pennsylvania area. It's a great place. But I love living in Florida and will never go any further north than Cape Coral. So is now the best time to buy? Yes, I've been saying yes for the last several months because the market is getting towards the bottom. As you know, when you buy real estate, you should buy with the intentions of holding for 5 to 7 years. That's the reality of it. Instead of trying to figure out how to time the market, understand what your goals are, and if you're in a position to be able to afford a house, now is a great time to buy. And now with the numbers I just showed you, you really need to pay attention because as we see the market starting to level out, it may start shifting back the other direction. And you may be able to afford a home right now, but then in like 6 months from now, you may not have the same ability to afford that same house. You might have to go with a lesser property. So it's kind of going backwards. I know so many people were waiting and waiting and waiting for the prices to come down because they couldn't afford the property they wanted. Now prices have come down and we're starting to shift the other way. Now, is it an emergency you need to go out and buy a house tomorrow? Of course not. But it's definitely wise to start getting the funding set up. Give me a call, book the link, see the link down below. Go ahead and book a call with me. Let's start strategizing about how you can get into a Cape Coral home. Let me start sending you the best opportunities. I've got a custom list based on what your needs are, and we'll start finding the home that's perfect for you. I mean, who wants to shovel snow another winter or scrape those windshields once again? Also, I recommend clicking the subscribe button on this channel so you can be aware of what's happening. I put out the numbers every single month. The numbers is what you need to pay attention to. That's going to tell you when you should buy or not buy, when you should sell or not sell. So hit that subscribe button right now. Rates are dropping. This is time to buy. Rates are dropping. They're continuing to drop. They're not dropping fast enough if you ask some people, but they are dropping. Where will you be this winter? Again, where are you going to be this winter? Are you going to be up there in New York, Chicago, Indianapolis, Minnesota, Minneapolis? Are you going to be up there looking out your window, watching the snowfall? Are you going to be here watching the water, the boats glide by? I've got this incredible canal right outside my office here. It's absolutely amazing. I love watching the boats glide by throughout the day and just reminding me of where I live in this beautiful city of Cape Coral, the Venice of the United States. We have over 400 miles of navigable canals. Sellers are still willing to negotiate. The market has not turned yet. Sellers are still negotiating in order to sell their properties. But I believe that that's very limited. I believe it's going to start to change. So pay attention, focus, watch these market updates, and start preparing for your next move here in Cape Coral. Is now the time to sell? So like I've been talking about the last several months, why do you want to sell? If you're just trying to sell your house just to sell your house, it's probably not a good time to sell. You're not going to get top dollar right now. If you wait a year, you're going to see a better return on your home. If you need to sell your house, maybe you need to move back north to be with family, maybe your job relocated you, whatever the reason may be, if you do need to sell, we can certainly sell your home. I would recommend chatting with me. Go ahead and book a consultation with me. Let's find out why it is you need to sell and how to strategically position yourself in your house on the market in order to get the most exposure to sell it for the top dollar that we can in this current market. So what homes are selling? Homes that are selling currently right now are homes that have been remodeled, homes that have been updated. Those are the homes that are getting top dollar. Newer homes, a lot of people are coming in for those. They like that storm protection that a newer home provides, the higher elevation. Those homes are selling very well. What homes are sitting on the market a little longer? Homes that need work, homes that are sitting at lower elevations. Now, some folks are certainly buying up those homes that need work, but they're expecting to get a pretty big discount as well. Now, if you have a beautiful home sitting on an incredible Gulf Access Canal, but it was built back in the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s, and you've never done anything to update it, that house is not going to be flying off the market. It's going to sit on the market because people are going to come into that house, the buyers that we have now, the savvy buyers, and they're expecting it to be updated already. If it's not updated, they're going to look at the cost to bring it up to speed. They're going to deduct that from what you're expecting to get for it if it's not priced correctly. Next up, strategic selling. This is where it's so important to have a professional on your side. If you do need to sell, you want to sell right now, you need to have a professional that understands the artificial intelligence, how to use that to promote your property, social media, get it out there on YouTube, all kinds of great stuff in order to promote your property to get the top dollar. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Stay up to speed, because as we turn the corner here and as prices start to jump again, you're going to want to definitely put your home on the market if you're in a position to do that. But as of right now, it's not that time yet unless you need to sell. All right. Thanks for joining me. Go ahead and schedule a consultation with me. Click the link below. Now, if you are an out-of-town person, let's say you live up in New York, Chicago, wherever, and you have a home here that you may want to sell, go ahead and reach out to me. We can do a Zoom call. We can take a look at that home. I can go over and take a look at the inside of it and give you an estimate of what I believe we could sell it for. If you're a buyer up there in the north, you're sick and tired of the winters, you don't want to see another snowflake, now's a great time to buy. Go ahead and set up that consultation with me as well. I have the out-of-town buyers program where I will actually look at homes for you, shoot you some videos, send them back to you, set you up with a custom list, and once we find the correct home for you, we can put an offer in. But before that due diligence period is up, I want you to come look at that house, because I'm not real big on selling houses unseen. We can put an offer on a house unseen. We've got a due diligence period, typically 10 to 14 days, and in that time frame, you would need to come down and walk that house once we get that offer accepted. Once you do that, you can decide yes or no if you want to move forward. If you do, congratulations, we're going to move forward on your dream home, and you're never going to have to see another snowflake again. You can be down here in the warm Florida sunshine all year round. All right, it's great chatting with you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can call, text, email, or click that link to book a strategy call. I'd love to chat with you. My name is Barry Cessna, your waterfront realtor here in the beautiful city of Cape Coral, making realty dreams a reality here in Cape Coral.